Let me do the work, and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a goodbye with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
It was only a few in the beginning, one here, one there. I knew it was illegal, but I liked doing it. Even my kids noticed. There's nothing worse than your 10-year-old telling you you're breaking the law. But I didn't hit the breaking point until I hit that little kid.
Addiction has many faces. Texting and driving when you know it's life-threatening and illegal can be one of them. Take back control. Put the phone down.
Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are Fox Sports!
And here's what you need to know.
The Athletic reports that the Los Angeles Dodgers are placing closer Edwin Diaz on the injured list with a presently undisclosed injury. Diaz was activated off the 60-day injured list the end of July after recovering from elbow surgery, but has allowed 11 earned runs in just 7 2/3 innings since then. NFL media reports that free agent cornerback Terrion Arnold will be placed on the commissioner's exempt list when he signs with a team. Arnold is facing 8 felony charges in connection with a robbery and kidnapping in Tampa in February. He's presently expected to sign with the Seattle Seahawks. Los Angeles Chargers starting center Tyler Biadasz was carted off the field during today's joint practice with the 49ers due to an apparent leg injury. The New York Giants signed running back Najee Harris to a 1-year deal and released receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. Good Tuesday afternoon. We are live on Fox Sports Radio across South Dakota. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Welcome in our affiliates at KWSN in Sioux Falls. Glad to have you here on Fox Sports Rapid City. Here we go. It is always a great day in South Dakota. Say it with me. Tuesday edition of the show looks great. Some great guests tonight. Really good stuff. A Super Bowl champion, a D1 college volleyball coach, a high-ranking program, a high school football coach that's won 2 state titles out of the last 3 years. We got it cooking tonight. We got it going. And we're back up streaming. Yes, slowly but surely. We are back up streaming. So welcome in our Fox Sports Radio affiliates. We appreciate you. We are streaming on X at Nate Brown Show. Find us, watch us live on X. Follow us and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. Also, YouTube is there. The Nate Brown Show. Go to youtube.com, search The Nate Brown Show. You've got to subscribe to the channel. You've got the show live and archived. Tuesday, let's look at the lineup. We'll get popping. Here we go. Brandon Stokely's on tonight. Stoke is in from Denver, Super Bowl champ, 2-time Super Bowl champ, former wide receiver for the Broncos, Colts, Ravens. Brandon Stokely talking Broncos training camp and some fireworks today. So I don't know what to think of this. I'm going to dig into it. Brandon Stokely on from Broncos training camp, 104.3 The Fan. He does the morning show down there. He's coming up live tonight. We will go with Brian Rosen. He is the Creighton head volleyball coach. Creighton women's volleyball, ranked number 13 in the nation. They're coming to the State Farm Showcase next weekend at the Sanford Pentagon. All the teams playing at the Pentagon next weekend ranked in the preseason. So this is big-time volleyball showcase. Absolutely huge. Creighton head volleyball coach Brian Rosen is on live tonight from Omaha. We'll go to Gary Sharp in Omaha as well, talking Huskers and more. Gary Sharp's on from the Omaha World Herald. And I want to get his thoughts on Nebraska, this high school football stats that were released yesterday. Nebraska had one of the biggest declines in high school football participation over the last 16 years. I want to dig into that. Gary's been down in Nebraska a long time. He's coming up live. And one more, Jared Fredenberg, head coach, Sioux Falls Lincoln. They've won 2 out of the last 3 state titles here. and they couldn't get it in 2025, but they want to get back in 2026. Brandon Valley knocked them off last year. Their quarterback, Schaefer's the best in the state. What else do they have coming back? A big senior class at Lincoln. Head coach Jared Fredenberg coming up, talking Patriots football. From high school to college to the pros, a lot to get to tonight. Great guest lineup there. Let's get you on if you want in. If you join the program, you can join the conversation. 605-720-1067. We'll get you there on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. 605-720-1067. Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline powered by the Pizza Ranch. Two great locations. I remind you, East River, stop by East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. There's your two Pizza Ranch locations. Hit them. Bring the family to the Fun Zone Arcade. It's a great place. Everyone's favorite buffet is the Pizza Ranch. And the Barron's Wilson text line ready to go. We've got it open. Send in the text to the show, 605-720-1067. That is the Barron's Wilson listener text line. Great guest lineup. We will get to that. Let's get to some college football talk right here, right now. We got a little debate going on between South Dakota and North Dakota. We have a debate, and I'm going to join the debate. I didn't start this debate, but I am going to join the debate. So here's what we got going. I asked Mike McFeely from Fargo last week on this show. I asked him, hey, you're covering North Dakota State. I know South Dakota State people don't like you, McFeely. I'm kidding. Everybody likes Mike, maybe. So I asked him, are there North Dakota State fans that are going to miss the Dakota Marker game coming up this season? And the reason I got into that is everybody's focused on NDSU up there going to the Mountain West. And they're excited about it. That's great. I'm a Mountain West fan. You guys know this. I've followed the Mountain West over the years a lot. And so I'm a Mountain West fan, so I'm interested. I'm going to actually do North Dakota State's prediction schedule tomorrow. Big show tomorrow. I'm going to predict the Bison schedule, and then they can put that in McFeely's column. We might. The Nate Brown Show picks North Dakota State to do what? That's tomorrow. Let's focus on today. I asked Mike McFeely, will North Dakota State fans miss the Dakota Marker rivalry game with South Dakota State? Because that's really the biggest headline for the Jacks schedule. It really is. And nobody really wants to point that out here in South Dakota that, man, SDSU missing NDSU on the schedule, that's a big miss. Everybody kind of wants to downplay it because, well, they're off to the FBS and off to the Mountain West. Everything's fine. Just let them go. That's a big miss in the schedule. That's the biggest game of the year. USD's right there. I understand the Yotes' passion. The Yotes want to take down the Jacks. I mean, I like that. You've got a rivalry there that's starting to get going, especially if the Yotes can stay consistent, right? That's the difference. NDSU's been at the top. SDSU's been at the top. So when they played now, that was the big show of the FCS. It was the biggest game regular season-wise, really, outside of Montana State. I mean, you look across the FCS guys, the biggest games in the country, Montana State, just for the Brawl of the Wild and what that means, and it's SDSU and NDSU. That's been the biggest games because of where the programs were. Now NDSU's gone, so I'm going to tell you, SDSU fans will be missing that game. I can admit that, Mike McFeely. I absolutely know Jacks fans will miss the Dakota Marker game. I asked Mike McFeely last week, will NDSU fans miss the Dakota Marker game at all? And he took a half of a second. If you missed this, he was on last week. He said, no. They're not. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody. North Dakota State fans aren't going to miss it. And I thought I'd bring that to the show today because he just referenced it again today. Mike McFeely was on Hot Mike in Fargo, and he just referenced it again and said, hey, I was on the Nate Brown Show. He asked me a good question. Will Bison fans miss the Dakota Marker game? And he said, I hear nobody saying that, nobody talking about that. And I'm going to bring this into a little question of the day for you. I have Jacks fans. I have Bison fans. I know this because you guys check in on the text line. I want to ask you, will you miss the Dakota Marker game? And I'm asking for Jacks fans, and I'm asking for Bison fans. But all I'm asking for is honesty tonight. I'm asking for honesty. So the text line is open, 605-720-1067. I'd like to get hit on this a lot so I get a big sample size. I want honesty because my honest feelings, and I'm not sitting here talking to a bunch of North Dakotans. Why not? I'm not talking to people in Fargo. Mike's going golfing and he's going bowling, and he says he's talking to people and nobody's going to miss it. And I don't believe it. I'm not telling you Mike McFeely's lying. I'm not saying, Mike, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm saying the North Dakota State fans are not admitting it going into this season. South Dakota State fans, you guys can at least admit it, right? South Dakota State fans can admit it. That's a big miss on the schedule. The Dakota marker off the schedule is a huge deal. It's a huge deal. I know people can admit that here in this state. North Dakota State wants to act like UTEP's going to be fun. Well, we got an opener coming up against Jacksonville State. No, hang on a second. I understand you're going to have some great games. And I'm going to be following the Wyoming NDSU game. I'm going to be following UNLV. I mean, there's some great games there. But I also know you're going to be playing a San Jose State or something. I mean, you are going to miss the South Dakota State game. That's all there is to it. I'm just asking this question of the day. Let's throw it out. Let's see here. How do we want to ask this? Do you think some NDSU fans will miss the Dakota Marker rivalry game? The North Dakota media saying, no, the North Dakota fans aren't missing it. And then he referenced, they're not going to miss the UND game either. Well, you can't say UND's like the Dakota Marker game. It's not, right? I just explained why the Jacks and the Bison, this rivalry developed. It was the top of the top, the best of the best. These were the two best teams, you could argue, every year as they rose to the top. NDSU was there. South Dakota State took them down and was legit every year, right? That was the game you circled. Now it's gone. I think it's a big miss for Jacks fans, and I'm going to just tell you, North Dakota State fans, I believe will miss it. They won't tell you that. I do believe that. So I want you to be honest tonight. 605-720-1067. Give me your opinion if you think North Dakota State fans will miss the Dakota Marker game. Okay? Let's see. Listener text. Coyote fan here. And they're both delusional if they both say they won't miss that game. Of course they will. It's ridiculous. That's excellent. That's excellent, and that's, I think, the honest truth. You have to be honest. North Dakota, here's what they want. We made it to the FBS, we made it to the Mountain West, and the FCS is in the rear view. I understand. Like, I know you're not going to miss the Northern Iowa game. I know you're not going to miss the Murray State game. I believe that. You will miss the Dakota Marker. Have some respect. You guys love the South Dakota State matchup. I know you did. I absolutely know you did. Let's see. Listener text, nobody in North Dakota would miss Mike McFeely. Whoa, hang on a second. Here we... I like it. Couple more. When South Dakota State goes FBS... I bet you the Jacks won't miss the USD game. Oh, hang on a second. Come on. We're going off the rails today. I told you I wanted honesty. South Dakota State what if South Dakota State went to the Mountain West and then they didn't play the Yotes? Would South Dakota State fans say the same thing? We're not going to miss the USD game. Yeah, come on. This is like saying Montana State, which is the best rivalry in the FCS. It just captivates the whole state. Such great history. Both programs have also been at the top in years past. The Grizz were really, really good for a long time. They fell off a little bit. Montana State took their spot. Now Montana State's really good. The Grizz are right there. That game would be like Montana leaving for the Mountain West, and then the Grizz fans trying to tell you, we're not going to miss playing the Bobcats. Well, that's crazy. But that's what McFeely's saying today. So I'm calling you out, Mike. I didn't invite you on the show today. That should have been fair. I got to play fair. Maybe tomorrow. Stay tuned. Well, we'll see if he's golfing. But nonetheless, Mike, I'm calling you out. You think North Dakota State's not missing it? I don't buy it at all. Here from South Dakota Sports Talk Show, I want the Dakota Marker game on the schedule. It's not. That's the biggest miss for the Jack schedule. It is a big miss still for for North Dakota State. It really is. It's not going to be the same when you're playing UTEP. It's great. It's fine. It's not going to be the same. It's just not. Let's see. Nebraska and Oklahoma fans both admit they miss that rivalry. I think Jack's Bison will be the same. Two of the very best every year with huge stakes. Excellent. Excellent point. Listener text. I think this is from a North Dakota number. I'm trying to get these numbers. What are these numbers? Like the sevens? The sevens. Are these North Dakota numbers? Let me know where you're texting in from tonight. I could care less what Mike's thoughts are on the Dakota Marker. He, like all NDSU fans, have always thought they are all above everything. Oh, all right. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see if we can get some opinion here. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, this is Don in Sioux Falls, Nate. I just heard you, and it made me shift over to different conferences. It'd be like the Vikings saying they will not miss playing the Packers.
Yes.
Or the Yankees saying they would not miss playing the Red Sox.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It really is. You don't buy it. You don't buy it, right? All right.
No, I don't, because I'm a lifelong South Dakotan, and from what I remember from childhood up to the present, because I'm in my 60s now, that Marker game has always meant something to both sides.
Yes. Thank you, Don. Appreciate you. I think that's right. I think Don's right. Thanks for getting in. Any more thoughts on this? 605-720-1067. I just thought I'd just come out of nowhere on a Tuesday on the Nate Brown Show tonight. I'm not going to let these North Dakota guys say, oh, they just wash their hands of the Jacks. The poor Jacks, we're just not going to, you're going to miss that game. You want that game. And he's honestly trying to tell us they don't miss it. He hasn't heard that from anybody. Just wait. You're going to miss that game. You will. Let's see. All they're trying to do is tick off Jackrabbit fans. Have fun with San Jose State. All right. Now, I will say, there are going to be some interesting games. And I'm going to go over North Dakota State's schedule for the first time ever, just because I have to have fun with giving the Bison some L's tomorrow. So we predict schedules on this program right before the football season every year. And we always do Jacks, Yotes. I did those. We do Huskers. I did that last week. Went Huskers 7-5. That's a little dicey. Huskers 7-5. Where are the Bison going to end up? So I'll get the schedule. We'll break it down tomorrow on the Nate Brown Show. One game that's not on there that we're all going to miss is the Dakota Marker, even though the North Dakota guys are messing around like they won't. I'm not buying it. Let's see what the Twitter poll says tonight. Brandon Stokely is joining us live from Denver. Coming up, there was a issue in Broncos practice today. Like an issue that's made national headlines. So we're going to get to Stokely, former Super Bowl champion, coming up. Let's throw it out on X. Do you believe that North Dakota State fans will not miss the Dakota Marker rivalry game, as Mike McFeely has said? 72% are voting they won't say it, but they will miss it. Yes. 72%, they won't say it, but they'll miss it. 28% say they won't miss it. They don't care anymore about SDSU. Last one. Let's see. Lister text. NDSU wasn't even selling out all of their home games the last few games. They always sell out the Dakota Marker game. And that's right. That's another correct one. So I just couldn't let that go. Last week, McFeely on this show said, no, we're not going to miss that at all. Then he doubled down today And we'll see if Mike's going to come back to the Nate Brown Show to have a real discussion. You will miss it, Mike. You will miss that game, believe me. Brandon Stokely's next from DenverSports.com, two-time Super Bowl champ. Broncos had a dust-up at practice that kind of matters today. Brandon Stokely on Denver and more ahead.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Save big on everything for your next staining project when you shop at Menards. Finish your outdoor wood projects with Cabot Premium Exterior Stain. It provides excellent protection and durability, making it ideal for decks, siding, outdoor furniture, and more. Get $8 off per gallon of Cabot Premium Exterior Stain now through August 23rd and start staining your project today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Want to do more of what you love and earn cash back doing it? With a Visa Cashback credit card from Black Hills Federal Credit Union, it's possible. Earn 1.5% cash back on everyday purchases like gas and groceries, and use it to fund your shoe obsession, vinyl collection, or airline upgrade. Plus, spend $2,000 in your first 90 days and get a $200 cashback bonus. Learn more at bhfcu.com/cashback. Offer subject to credit approval. Other restrictions apply.
More inventory, more brands, more reasons to shop at Danny Meno Rapid Chevrolet. Choose from over 350 used cars, trucks, and SUVs from all your favorite brands. Buy with no money down and no payments for 90 days with qualified credit. Choose from GMCs, Rams, Fords, Chevys, Jeeps, imports, and more. Buy all with no money down and no payments for 90 days. 16 local and national lenders available and all applications accepted. See us at Danny Meno Rapid Chevrolet or DannyMenoRapidChevrolet.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Chance for storms this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. Highs level off around 84. Easterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance for storms tonight. Lows level off around 59. Mainly cloudy skies expected. Daytime highs approaching 87. Tomorrow, mainly sunny skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 80.
Since 1928, Connect Home Center has been proud to serve Rapid City and Spearfish with quality products and customer service that you can trust. In 2000, Connect joined the Mead Lumber family, and now they're taking the next step into their journey. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name from design to finish. Mead Lumber is here for you, as they've always been. MeadLumber.com.
It began with his marriage to Roseanne Barr.
My first marriage, that was like Vietnam. There were no winners. I got out of there in a helicopter in a hail of gunfire.
And ballooned into a legendary TV and film career.
I've done 72 movies. I'm unbelievable. Yes, but only 6 of them were good.
The Box Elder Event Center is proud to present Tom Arnold.
Got arrested for public nudity in an old folks home, and I want to say this.
Don't miss Tom Arnold for one night only, Saturday, September 5th. Get tickets at thebox.live.
If you're a business owner, you've invested your blood, sweat, and tears into your business. Long days, sleepless nights, all to build something that matters. But what if something happened to you tomorrow? What happens to everything you've built? Do you have a plan? Does your family have a plan? Contact Lee Cruz with New York Life right here in Rapid City. There are affordable options you maybe haven't considered. Just spend 15 minutes protecting what took you years to build. Call Lee Cruz, 605-360-8804, or Google Lee Cruz New York Live.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Hey, welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. We're live on Fox Sports Radio. Our affiliates are Fox Sports Rapid City. Glad you're here, Western South Dakota. Hope you're having a great day on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls as well. Gary Sharp's coming up from Omaha World Herald. We'll talk high school football in Nebraska, one of the biggest declines in numbers in the country in the last 16 years in football participation. We'll dig into that. South Dakota high school football numbers were down as well over the last 16 years, but Nebraska down even more. People are saying kids aren't playing in the small towns, the small schools. They're going to Omaha and Lincoln Gary Sharp's coming up. We will go to Creighton head volleyball coach Brian Rosen coming up as well. Creighton's ranked number 13 in the country. They're coming to the State Farm Showcase next weekend at the Sanford Pentagon. So Creighton head volleyball coach Brian Rosen's on next. Brandon Stokely's in, two-time Super Bowl champ. He is on in the morning. DenverSports.com and 104.3 The Fan. Great show. Number one sports show in Denver with Brandon Stokely. Do I have that right? Is that good enough?
Sounds good to me, Nate. I appreciate you, buddy.
I like it. I'm serving it up. Okay, I appreciate you coming on. Let's dig into this today. So you're a former player. You played a long time in the league. You know what happens at practice and the dog days of August here. So, national headlines. Broncos get into a dust-up. Bo Nix gets knocked down. He gets mad today, throws the ball. Then he pulls off Nick Benito off of a pile by the leg. What do you think of the dust-up? Does it sound a little heated?
Oh, it's great, man. That's what you're supposed to have in training camp. So it's all good. I mean, that's when you're competing. They had a great week last week. They played great against Atlanta, and they dominated that football game. So, look, I love it. Hey, you got to compete, and sometimes this is what happens in training camp. They're in the third week of training camp. This is the stuff that happens. So, no big deal. Little scrap. It's all good. Don't touch the quarterback. If someone touches the quarterback, and then hey, it's going to be a free for all. And hey, that's the stuff that happens. So I don't think it's a big deal at all. This is a close group team, close knit team, and they had a great last year, a really good year the year before, and so they compete together. But this is just the stuff that happens in training camp when you get 3 weeks in and you're in full pads and guys are competing. All of a sudden, the guy hits a quarterback, and this stuff happens. No big deal at all.
Okay, so no biggie. You're a former player. You remember stuff like this? What if that happened to Peyton Manning back in the day? You have anything like this happen? You just can't do. You can't hit QBs, right? It ticks everybody off. What's the deal?
Yeah, exactly. I would never do anything. I just watch from the outside, Nate. I would never do anything. I just watch and say, hey, what's going on over there? Stop it, please. But no one would ever touch Peyton Manning. That was definitely a no-no. But at the same time, you're competing and you're trying to get close to the quarterback, and sometimes things happen, and that's just football, right? But yeah, you have this stuff happen all the time. We see it across all the teams. You see the videos, and the Broncos have been pretty good this year. I've been kind of surprised they really haven't had anything like this until today, which is fine.
Okay, you guys have been out of training camp, having some coverage and getting plugged in with the Broncos. What's your kind of takeaway so far, Brandon? Everybody thinks, well, Broncos have a great roster. This is top tier. Yet, what's your big questions going in? Do you have any going into the year?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's Bo Nix. We haven't seen Bo Nix play in a game since he broke his ankle. He didn't play last week against Atlanta. Some of the other starters play, so we'll see him this week. And Sean Payton said we'll see him next week also. We'll see about that. That probably depends on how he plays this week. But, yeah, and then you got a young offensive coordinator. He looked great last week against Atlanta, how he's going to dial things up. Sean Payton is now, gave up play calling. So that's going to be an interesting storyline throughout the season. But a lot of positives with the Denver Broncos. They got a really deep roster. They've done a great job of drafting and developing, and so it's a really good football team.
How do you think it's going to work? You've been a part of offenses, so Davis Webb calling the plays, but Sean Payton's offense, and he's going to be right there. He said Davis Webb's going to be right here on the sideline. How do you think those two are going to work? It kind of looks like an Andy Reid / Matt Nagy thing at Kansas City. How do you think it works?
I think it works fine. I really do. I think Sean was kind of ready to take a step back and realize that, he's getting older and it's a young man's game, and he really saw a lot of potential in Davis Webb. So he said, you know what, let me see what this kid can do. I think he sees himself in Davis Webb a little bit. So I think it's going to be just fine. I really do. Davis Webb has been with Bo Nix in the last few years and the last couple of years, so I think they got a great relationship, and No, I think it's going to be really good. I do. And they got a lot of talent. The addition of Jalen Waddle is going to really help. The addition of Jonah Coleman, he had a great game against the Falcons. I mean, he looks like a dynamic young running back that might be the steal of the draft in the 4th round. So we'll see how that goes. And so offensive line is really, really good. And I really do think Jalen Waddle and what they can do with him, move him inside, move him outside. They got a really deep wide receiver group also. Troy Franklin's had a really good training camp. Pat Bryant's had a really good training camp.
Yeah.
And every time that Marvin Mims gets an opportunity on the offensive side of the football, he makes big plays. So it's a really good group. They've done a really good job of drafting and developing over the last 3-4 years.
Do you think the offense takes big strides here, meaning they played conservative last year? The numbers were fine, but they didn't jump off the charts. Can this offense be explosive? They've talked about that. Like, we got to get to another level.
Right. Yeah. No, you're all over it, Nate. I think you're 100% on it. Yes, it should take a step forward. Again, Jalen Waddle, I think what he brings to the table, they haven't had a guy that can work the middle of the football field in a long time, and he can go inside, outside, and they have a lot of flexibility with the talent that they have now, and they're a lot more deeper at the running back room, a lot more deeper at the wide receiver room. So, if they do have an injury, I think they're going to be able to overcome it. That offensive line been together for the last few years, so they got a really good offense now. And now also you got to count on Bo Nix taking a step forward in year 3.
Yeah. Brandon Stokely on tonight from 104.3 The Fan, denversports.com. He's on X at bstokely14. He's here on the Nate Brown Show across South Dakota talking Broncos training camp. So I think about Denver. They should be right up there in the AFC West. I believe this. Vegas has them third best odds to win the division. That came out last week. Were you surprised on that? Third best in the division? Is this just Chiefs homerism or what?
Yeah, I mean, a little surprise. I mean, they were the best team in the AFC last year, but you got to do it again. And Vegas, they don't have a dog in the fight, so they're impartial in this thing. They're just trying to win money. So they're expecting the Kansas City bounce back, and then you got the Chargers are a good team too. I mean, Mike McDaniel, see what he does there offensively. They're a good, solid team. They were banged up last year, so the AFC West going to be really good. Raiders will be a better football team. They'll still be bad, but they'll be better. I think I look at Denver's roster as a whole. And it's hard to beat them from top to bottom. Now, what will Kansas City look like this year? With Kelsey getting older, Mahomes coming off the injury, will they be able to bounce back? I'd have more confidence in Denver continuing to do what they did last year and build off of that than I do with Kansas City being able to bounce back.
Okay, Brandon, I want your read on the new stadium. People have been throwing it around. They're trying to get land and try to figure out where to put it. And do you put it way down south, or are they going to put it kind of in Burnham Yard there? What's the real story? Where should it be?
I mean, they want it downtown, and, I live down south, so I don't want it down south. I don't want that, being built right by my house, 10 miles from my house for the next 5 years. So, but they want it downtown, Nate. I mean, that's where they want it. They bought a bunch of land. They still got to do a couple other things. I mean, it's going to be beautiful. You're going to take an area that's not very attractive to be nice and make it unbelievable. And so they're doing everything possible to make that happen. But guess what? If people don't work with them, the government doesn't work with them, the city councils, all those politicians don't work with them, they will pick up really quickly, and it's a plug-and-play over here down south. So they'll roll out the red carpet down south for them. They got a bunch of land. I drive by it every day going to work. And so they'll make it happen for them very easily. And the ownership group has been nothing but great for the Denver Broncos and for the city and for the state. But if you keep screwing around, guess what? They'll figure something else out at Burnham Yards. They spend a lot of money, but they don't care. They'll move it. They're paying for the stadium, Nate. They're with their own money. They're not asking taxpayers for their money. They're paying for it with their own money. Who's the last person that did that? It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
Was it in L.A. with Kroenke? So that stuff just doesn't happen. I mean, let's help these guys out and a little bit and make sure it happens. So hopefully it happens. I think eventually it will. But they're not messing around with their deadline. They move quick. I mean, they built their brand new $180 million facility in 2 years, and so they don't mess around. I love it. I love the fact that they're invested here, and they're trying to make everything great. And hopefully they get a little bit of help there at Burnham Yards, and the place will be magnificent if they get a little help.
Okay. And Stokely doesn't want that I-25 jam down south. You don't want that.
Right. No,
I've
Stokely
seen
doesn't
that.
want that, Nate.
Yeah, I've seen that. You don't want that. By the way, Colorado high school football, just wanted to throw your way. I know you've had a son play, all that stuff. Colorado high school football participation up 8.9% over the last 16 years. So numbers are thrown out, and Colorado numbers are up. Nationwide numbers are up. Does it surprise you at all? People have always said, Brandon, football and some of this stuff is going to go down. Some states are down, but overall it's up. What do you think?
Yeah, no. Football it teaches you a lot as a young kid. If you have the right coaches and the right people around the football program, I think it teaches you a lot. Certainly, you got flag football early maybe, and then you get into tackle at a certain age, but I think it teaches you a lot that these other sports don't when you look at baseball and basketball, and I played them all. So there's nothing like football. Put those pads on in the summer. It makes you grow up and work hard and learn a lot about yourself. So I think there's a lot of benefits to playing football.
Brandon Stokely on tonight. Listen to him in the morning. It's a great show with Evan Schlereth. They're on 104.3 The Fan, denversports.com. They stream it there. Brandon, good to have you in South Dakota as always. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Nate, anytime, buddy. Appreciate you.
Appreciate your time. Always try and get him before the season gets going. Two-time Super Bowl champ, wide receiver, long NFL career. Brandon Stokely on from Denver tonight. 104.3 The Fan morning host, denversports.com. Good show, one of the top ones in the country. Mark Schlereth joins him, and Mike Evans. All right, interesting. Brandon Stokely and the Broncos. Interesting. He thinks the offense should take big strides. Big strides. And I know the Denver defense has been good. Broncos offense should take big strides. Let's go to volleyball. There's a huge showcase at the Pentagon next week. I don't know if you should know about this. Tickets have been selling, no doubt. But there's top-ranked teams coming to Sioux Falls next weekend. One of them's Creighton. Their head coach, Brian Rosen, will talk Creighton volleyball and the State Farm Showcase at the Pentagon next weekend. Coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right. Call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
The action doesn't stop when the game starts.
Back at the wall! Tie game!
Wager Sportsbook and Grill is now open at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort, serving crave-worthy eats, ice-cold drinks, and non-stop energy. Dig into wings, smash burgers, and loaded bowls, then get in on the action at the BetMGM Sportsbook.
Shohei Ohtani!
Bet big, eat well, and catch every play from the front row. Learn more at CadillacJacksGaming.com. Every bite, every play, Wagers delivers.
Being in business has its rewards as well as its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique, and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Hi, I'm Bill at Wire for USA. If you're looking for internet, TV, security systems, or cell booster systems, why would you look at a company that only gives you one choice for each of these systems? Wire for USA offers it all. Viasat, Hughes, CenturyLink, Dish TV, DirecTV, Wilson cell booster systems, and now Starlink and EchoStar internet systems. Starlink and EchoStar are the newest, the fastest, and the strongest satellite internet made. No limit, no contract. Wire for USA has it. Call 605-341-5361. Whatever your home or business needs are, call Wire for USA for the products and the service. You don't need training wheels with our system. Connect to the future with Wire for USA at 605-341-5361. We are hometown, we are South Dakota, and we do appreciate your business. 605-341-5361. See us at our new location, 710 North La Crosse Street in Rapid City.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
All right, welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on a Tuesday across the state on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome in on our radio affiliates. Glad you're here. Appreciate you making this show possible. We're going to head down to Gary Sharp, Omaha World Herald. Coming up, high school football numbers released, participation numbers from USA Today. Nebraska had a decline over the last 16 years, one of the bigger declines in the country in high school football participation. So I want to break that down. Gary Sharp coming up, omaha.com. Well, speaking of Omaha, let's go there. Let's do it again. Let's do it right now. Creighton. They're coming to Sioux Falls next weekend for the State Farm Women's Volleyball Showcase. This is a big deal. Sanford Pentagon. All 5 teams participating in the preseason poll, and Creighton's right there, ranked number 13. Head coach for the volleyball program is Brian Rosen, and he's live tonight across the state, getting set for the showcase next weekend. Coach, good to have you on. How are you?
It's great to be here. I'm doing great, and excited to be coming to Sioux Falls next week.
Okay, I like it. This is a thing, man, because I'm a sports guy, and I've seen how volleyball has just exploded. And so a lot of these showcases like this, I don't remember these back in the day. It's become a bigger and bigger deal. So I just want to start there, Coach. You're a part of the game. You know it. Where has volleyball been 20 years ago to today?
Yeah, I mean, volleyball is the fastest growing girls and women's sport in the country. It's the number 1 participation sport for girls in the country, and so it's awesome to see the media following suit and all of that. It just took so long for us to get on TV, and I think now that we're on so often now the world's getting to see just how fast and fun and physical like this volleyball is. And so this tournament here is going to be on TV too, but it's just been awesome to see our sport kind of elevated. We don't have women's basketball and some of those have like a men's counterpart to kind of like lift them up a little bit. Like we've had to do all the lifting on our own, and so it's been a long road, but we're finally getting the attention that these athletes rightfully deserve.
Yeah, no doubt. And by the way, the program at Creighton you're in charge of has been on the rise. Talk about your time here and this Creighton program, where you feel right now. Ranked number 13. I know rankings don't mean a lot now, but how do you feel about this program this year?
Yeah, I mean, this has been one of the best programs in the country over the last 10 years. I think it's 13 straight NCAA tournaments and 12 conference championships. We've been to 3 straight Sweet 16s, back-to-back Elite Eights, which only 5 teams in the country have done. So we're with the best in the country. We're just different than the rest. You know, we're not in a Power 4 conference, and so we get overlooked some because of that. But we've been able to build a really big national brand because of our success. And again, like, it goes back to being on TV more. You know, beating Texas in the Sweet 16 a couple years ago was huge for our program. And then you know, going against Penn State in 5 sets to go to a Final Four, and beating Arizona State on national TV last year. So, like, the more exposure our program's gotten, the more you know, the national recognition has grown. And so we've been in a lot of top 25 polls, which is again, just goes to show the respect that our program has across the country.
Brian Rosen on tonight here on the Nate Brown Show across South Dakota. He's the Creighton head volleyball coach, and they're coming to the Sanford Showcase. It's the State Farm Women's Volleyball Showcase at the Pentagon next weekend in Sioux Falls. And you got 3 straight matches, man, 3 straight days there. So we'll dig into this. It looks like, man, the teams that are coming to Sioux Falls, this is the real deal here. Talk about the teams you're playing.
Yeah, Intersport, who's kind of helped putting this together, did a really nice job, just working really hard to get the right teams here. So I think we were the first team to commit, and I worked really, you know, hard with them to get the right, because we all want high RPI, nationally recognized programs to be a part of this event. And so I think Minnesota jumped on next, and then Purdue jumped in, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. And so what an awesome opportunity. A few teams originally were just going to play 1 match. And we said we'd be willing to play 3 if that helped anyone. And so I think that helped us get USC to come to Sioux Falls as well. So we're the only team playing 3 matches, which, you know, some people could see as a disadvantage. Like, we're just pumped about the opportunity to play 3 top Big Ten teams on national TV in a great atmosphere. And so, yeah, great opportunity. 5 really good volleyball programs who all made deep runs in the NCAA tournament last year. And these matches, even though they're so early in the season, like, are going to help determine seeds for the NCAA tournament, and just kind of help all of us figure out, like, what our identity is this season.
Creighton plays Purdue Friday on Fox. That's next Friday, the Pentagon. If you don't have your tickets to this, I know they've been selling fast. I mean, I think it's going fast, but Creighton plays Minnesota Saturday, and then against USC on Sunday. Again, it's the State Farm Women's Volleyball Showcase, the Pentagon, next weekend in Sioux Falls. Brian Rosen from Creighton on tonight. So give me a sense for this, Coach. You may not, well, South Dakota, Nebraska. Volleyball appears to be pretty big. We know Nebraska as a state has really embraced it. Volleyball in this area, is it follow the same trend, popularity, growth, and high-level play?
I can tell you, I know very well how good volleyball is in South Dakota. We have 3 coming to us in the next couple of years, right from Sioux Falls, from several different programs. We have lots of South Dakota representation at our team camp every single year. I think I've been in Sioux Falls probably 3 times in the last couple of months to come watch players. So I think Sioux Falls specifically, and just South Dakota as a whole, has done an incredible job developing youth volleyball and volleyball support. And obviously, like, the Bergen Rileys of the world stand out, but hopefully people in the area know a woman now named Taryn Cloth, who played for us here at Creighton, and then played in the Paris Olympics for beach a couple years ago. So we know very well how good and how strong volleyball is in South Dakota, and love the fan support there. That's why when they said, like, hey, we're thinking of moving this, because originally the tournament was in a couple different ideas for locations, and they asked if we'd want to go to Sioux Falls, and I just thought that would be just a great opportunity again for our programs, for the number of recruits that we have in the area to be able to come watch our program compete. And so what an awesome opportunity for us. It's also close enough for our fans to travel and see us play these great matches. So just a win-win for everybody.
I've seen great sporting events in Sioux Falls, whether it's volleyball, whether it's basketball. It feels like South Dakota comes out and supports it. Do you get that sense when events are held in Sioux Falls?
For sure. This will be my first time in the Pentagon, and I swear, like, anytime I bring up that we're going to the Pentagon, anyone who has any familiarity with sports in the Midwest is like, oh, that's the best. And so, like, I'm really excited to get to be in the facility and to feel that support. But I've gotten to watch, again, our women's basketball team specifically has come to participate. They're actually coming again. They're coming again later this year as well. Everyone just sings the praises of the facility, the community, and again, like we've gotten to see it from a youth side. I'm really excited to get to see the fan support from a collegiate side here. And so, again, I know the club and the high school volleyball in that area is so good. I know Harrisburg is the top 10 team in the country, and there's so many top programs there. So what a great opportunity for us as a program to get to play in front of that kind of audience and showcase kind of our style of play.
Coach, I'll let you run with this. Brian Rosen on tonight, Creighton head volleyball coach. He's here on the Nate Brown Show, coming to the Pentagon next weekend. You got to check this out, the State Farm Women's Volleyball Showcase. It'll be televised on national TV, Fox and FS1 and the Big Ten Network on Sunday. Give me a sense for this roster this year. You said you've been there every year. You expect nothing less. How do you feel this year?
Yeah, we have a really exciting group to watch. I really think we can be one of the best blocking teams in the country. We are so physical. I think there'll be some players that fans are going to love to watch. We have an outside that transferred to us this year. Her name's Trinity. She touches 10-10. And again, to give you an idea, the rim's 10 foot. And she just measured at 10-10. She also finished 6th in the country in the long jump this past year. She got to go to Eugene and do that. So I think she's an instant fan favorite. I think when our fans got to see her for the first time, like the immediate gasp the first time she went up to hit a ball of like, I don't think humans are supposed to be able to do that.
Right.
And so she's really special. And I just think our team plays with a chip on your shoulder, gritty mentality all the time. You know, we always have that little bit of an underdog to us because we're not in the Big Ten. We're not a Power 4 program, but we know that we can compete and beat anybody in the country. And so I just think we play a great style of volleyball and play with a lot of joy. So, again, really, really excited to be in Sioux Falls and for all the fans to get to see that.
This is the way to kick off the season in a big way. Next weekend, Sanford Pentagon, State Farm Women's Volleyball Showcase. Creighton's coming. They'll start it up Friday on Fox and at the Pentagon against number 9 Purdue, number 13 Blue Jays. Creighton head volleyball coach is Brian Rosen here in South Dakota. Good luck, Coach. Thanks for coming on. We're excited about this. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Wear blue and roll Jays.
I like it. Brian Rosen on tonight. Creighton head volleyball coach, number 13 ranked preseason. And all the teams coming to the Pentagon next weekend, ranked in the top 25. This is the real deal. So I think you got to shine a big light on this. Volleyball's exploding, and this is top tier. This isn't like a couple of exhibition games or matches. That's not the deal. Creighton, Purdue to start it. Then Creighton's going to play Minnesota Saturday, Creighton against USC Sunday. And they throw in Arizona State against Minnesota, USC against Arizona State in the middle there. So this is a big deal. State Farm Women's Showcase next weekend at the Pentagon. And all 5 teams participating, the real deal. Creighton ranked number 13 and great following with some South Dakota favor, no doubt. Brian Rosen on tonight. We'll see him next weekend at the Pentagon for the Big Deal Showcase. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show. I got to take a look at this question of the day and see where we're at. Do you believe North Dakota State fans will miss the Dakota Marker game? We're trying to get a real feel tonight.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
The following radio ad is Good Fun Squad approved.
My name is Jenny, and I'm the lady at the South Dakota Lottery who writes out those big checks for our winners. It's a lot of fun, but we've had so many big winners lately, my hand is tired. There was a $600,000 winner, a $2 million winner, a $4 million winner. That's a lot of zeros, and not normal zeros, big check zeros, and the winning never stops. That's why I'm learning to write with both hands.
Good fun.
Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly cloudy skies expected tonight with a chance of thunderstorms. Lows dip down to about 59. Winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Daytime highs approaching 87. Tomorrow, mainly clear skies. Tomorrow night, lows around 60. Clear skies Thursday with daytime highs approaching 92. 90 Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 80.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
Shop the region's unmatched selection of beer, wine, and spirits at your Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. This month's specials include $6 off Pendleton Whiskey, now $18.99 for the 750 ml. Save $2 off all Kim Crawford wines, your choice for just $13.99. Or choose all flavors of Sugarland's Moonshine, now only $19.99. All this plus rare allocated bourbons and exclusive in-store barrel picks. Available at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City, off Catron next to Walmart, or on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
Great news. I just got the State Farm personal price plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
All right, South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, Fox Sports Radio, KWSN in Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Remember, you can stream us now. Just had one day down. You can stream us for now. We hope that continues. Find us on X at Nate Brown Show. We're on X at Nate Brown Show. You can watch the show live. Check in wherever you're at and check us out on X. Also YouTube. YouTube.com. Search The Nate Brown Show, and we are live. Gary Sharp's coming up from the Omaha World Herald. Nebraska high school football participation has fallen off. Why? South Dakota's fallen off, but less so. So we'll dig into that. Numbers out. We'll go to the state title winners 2 out of the last 3 years in AAA. It's been Sioux Falls Lincoln, but they got clipped last year. Their head coach is Jared Fredenberg, and he's on tonight. Can the Patriots get back on top? Jared Fredenberg coming up. All right, let's go to the question of the day. Get an update on the question of the day. If you haven't voted, you need to do that tonight. We're trying to get a real feel. I contest that South Dakota State fans will miss the Dakota Marker game coming up this year in a big way. So I absolutely believe that. And that's been verified by some of the texts tonight from the listeners across South Dakota. Nobody from South Dakota has said, no, I'm not going to miss the game. So that's just my unscientific poll on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Nobody said, I'm not going to miss that game. The heck with the Bison. They might have said the heck with the Bison or something like that, but they said they're still going to miss the game. North Dakota media, my friend Mike McFeely, he says nobody in North Dakota State has mentioned the thing. They aren't going to miss the game at all. He hasn't heard a thing. Nothing. They're so excited about Fordham and, but some of these teams, UTEP and whoever, but Nobody's going to miss South Dakota State, and I don't believe it. So I'm bringing it into the Nate Brown Show for South Dakota to say, do you believe North Dakota State fans will miss the Dakota Marker game if they're honest? You know, it's time for some honesty. I think they're just trying to play games. What do you call it? Clickbait? What do you do that? We never do that in the media, right? We never do that. They're trying to say North Dakota State's not going to miss it. People are sounding off. I want your answer. Do you think North Dakota State fans will miss the Dakota Marker rivalry game against the Jacks? That's my question for South Dakota tonight. 605-720-1067. Join us on the Barons-Wilson text line. Give us your read on it. And people are voting on X. I threw it out there for the social media crowd. 70% have voted. They won't say it, but yes, they'll miss the Dakota Marker game. So we're pegging them right there. North Dakota State fans are not going to admit, I'm telling you, they're not going to cry and admit, oh, I missed the Jacks game. But I'm telling you, if you caught them in a truth serum, they would absolutely miss it. They would tell you that. Any rivalry game, any great rivalry game, you're going to miss. You just are. So I want to say it's kind of like this. Wyoming, I grew up watching Wyoming, and my brother played there. You guys know this. So the biggest rivalry is Colorado State. And boy, do they think they're cool going to this made-up Pac-12. But so they're going to go to the Pac-12. So this is the last year of Colorado State for a little while. Like they're trying to get it on the schedule, so they have it every year. But it's the border war, and it's a huge rivalry. Fort Collins, Laramie, Wyoming, Colorado State's the best rivalry of the year. And so now that Colorado State's leaving to the Pac-12, of course Wyoming's going to miss that if they don't get that game on the schedule every year. Like they have it this year to open the season, which is great. But now this Colorado State's out of the Mountain West because they're, I don't know, cool or something. They lose a lot, but they might not have the game, and so Wyoming fans would miss that. I can admit that. I would miss the sheep. The sheep, I would miss it. So you got to be honest tonight, okay? Just tell me. South Dakota State's going to miss it, but so is North Dakota State. 70% of you say, yes, you agree with me. They won't say it, but they will miss it in North Dakota. 30% have said they really won't miss it. They don't care about SDSU anymore. Listener reaction on X. I still miss the Nebraska-Oklahoma rivalry. I actually missed the whole Big 8 rivalries. And he said, I'm glad the Iowa game is still around. So, yeah. Here's one from Rough Rider. His name is Rough Rider. I love these handles. So, Rough Rider on X says, I'll miss it, but only because all my in-laws went to SDSU, and we won't be able to trash talk. Well, that's part of missing it. It's part of missing it, right? Listener text, as a Jacks fan, I'll miss the Dakota Marker. Bison won't miss it this first year, but they'll miss it beyond that. I see. That's not a bad take. They're going to pretend like they don't miss it. Oh, we're so excited. We got Hawaii, the Rainbow Warriors. Yeah. It's not quite the same as the Dakota Marker clash. Not quite the same. And plus, you're going to be watching it at 1 a.m. in the morning. So, hope you have fun. You want SDSU. You got to get that game, by the way. NDSU, this is up to you guys. Are you guys going to put it back on the schedule in the future? This is up to NDSU. They can pretend like they're cooler, or they can put the Jacks game back on the schedule. So, we can't play FCS teams. Well, put it back on the schedule. You guys are that much cooler. So put it on the schedule so you can play. You beat this FCS team, right? Right? So let's put it back on the schedule. Be like Wyoming, Colorado State. They put it back on the schedule, even though Colorado State's in the made-up Pac-12. So get it on the schedule. Hey, let's come back on the Nate Brown Show with... wait, I've got another listener text. I got to check these before we go. Got to check these. Listener text from Matt Kearney. Wait, huh? The Matt Kearney. He's a Boise State fan, and he says, I won't miss the Boise State-Wyoming game. Well, that's because you don't want to get clipped like Josh Allen did Back in the day, you might remember. Coming right back with NFL update from Roger Goodell. Why would I say this? Roger Goodell said something to a Germany media outlet today. Germany media outlet. Why does it matter? We'll discuss next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Choosing a hotel for an upcoming family trip to the Black Hills? Why just stay when you can make it an unforgettable adventure? When you choose any of the 5 hotels surrounding Waitiki Indoor Water Park, your stay includes free passes for your kids where they'll enjoy hours of fun in South Dakota's largest indoor water park. From the budget-friendly La Quinta by Wyndham to the modern Courtyard by Marriott, there's a perfect option for every family. Unlock your adventure and book your stay now at WaitikiWaterPark.com.
Fun's overboard!
Hey, it's not like it's a person. What's the big deal?
What? That was our only package of Village Hearth old-fashioned buns.
We may as well toss the hot dogs, too. Head for the shore.
Don't let soggy buns put a damper on your lake day. Practice food safety.
Village Hearth, in the land of 10,000 lakes, there's only one bun for your summertime fun.
Are you ready to feel good in your skin? Visit the dermatology experts at Sanford Health Tower Road Clinic in Rapid City. Our growing team offers skin, hair, and nail care close to home. Here you have access to acne treatments, Botox, and laser therapy. You can also trust our experts to help you manage skin cancer screenings and treatments. It's total skincare personalized for you. Schedule a skin cancer screening or learn more about our services at sanfordhealth.org.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding door and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards. Find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear. Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
I'm with Brian from Anytime Auto Sales. Now, you've got some campers I've never seen before. Yes, sir. These Transformer-like Addicts Jeep campers are an absolute perfect camper companion to any Jeep model you have. Super cool, heavy-duty construction under 1,500 pounds. You get an electric cooler, water tank, and the proverbial kitchen sink, plus a tent that sleeps 3. You just got to see these new Wild Addicts Jeep campers, everyone. These will look so impressive hooked up behind a Jeep Wrangler or a Gladiator. These campers come standard with a beefy off-road suspension and 17-inch wheels. There's just no camper out there that looks better with a Jeep than an Addicts Jeep setup. And now, I also see you carry the Keystone Passport line. Yes, we do. The newest and biggest camper we carry. Several floor plans available in these 26-foot Keystone rigs. We have bunk bed versions and models with slide-outs for a huge roomy living area. This is camping at the next level and far more affordable than you may think. Check out these new 2026 Keystones and the Addicts Jeep campers. See AnytimeAnytime.com, and as always at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. You found us, the Nate Brown Show Live Tuesday edition. We are on KWSN in Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. We're also streaming right now a couple of different places. YouTube.com. Search The Nate Brown Show. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. We'd appreciate it. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Also, X. We are at Nate Brown Show. Find us on X if you have an account. Follow the show at Nate Brown Show and then watch the show live. Last place, Midwest Sports Plus, the high school sports app. You've got us there on Midwest Sports Plus. Second hour on a Tuesday. Boy, it just keeps getting better. I mean, this is good stuff tonight. If you missed the first hour, you missed it. Brandon Stokely popped in, two-time Super Bowl champ wide receiver. The Colts, Ravens, Broncos. Brandon Stokely was on live from Denver, talking Broncos, AFC West, and more. Brian Rosen was on, Creighton head volleyball coach. Creighton's coming to the State Farm Women's Volleyball Showcase, a huge event. The Pentagon next weekend. Top 25 teams in action all next weekend on Fox and FS1 from the Pentagon. And we talked Creighton volleyball. Good discussion with Brian Rosen. If you missed some of the show, like the first hour, maybe you can't catch this second hour. You got to go eat. You got to take the kids to practice. Whatever you're doing, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. Every show, every guest. If you miss anybody, it's all there. It's on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. So search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got us on the podcast. We are a radio show, so we like interacting. So you can't, text in on the podcast, although maybe you do, because we, open up the text app the next day, and then there's people that text in, but we don't get it live. They must be listening to the podcast and texting it. So, no, text us live on the Barron's-Wilson text line. It's 605-720-1067. Or the Pizza Ranch Studio hotline. You can be a part of the action. That's even better, right? Part of the action on the Pizza Ranch Studio hotline, 605-720-1067, powered by the Pizza Ranch, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. Two great East River locations. The best buffet in town is at the Pizza Ranch. All right. Next topic. Roger Goodell did an interview with a German media outlet today. So that's great. We've seen the NFL expanding its footprint. International, right? So not a surprise here at all. If you followed the NFL, you've seen the international games go from 1 to 10. Okay? So they're trying to get this thing to almost every week of the season. And they're not being secret about it. So the NFL is trying to go international, heavy international. I don't think it's going to be the same as the NBA. The NBA basketball is international. Football, they're trying to be. But you can't tell me in some of these countries that there's passionate Vikings fans. Or I really don't see that. And so, Rob Kagron, who we have on a couple of times a week, Rob lived over there in Europe for years. And he's the guy that's told me, because he's lived there, you kind of have to go with people that, experienced it. He said they just don't have the same passion. They'll watch NFL or they'll, but it's soccer, it's basketball. There's a lot more of that than, man, we're really Vikings fans or Patriots fans, whoever you want to say. So the NFL's trying to do this, and they're trying to make it an international thing, and they're just going to do it no matter what. So they put these games in these countries, and now guess what? Roger Goodell said on the Germany interview today that he said at some point there will be NFL teams outside of the U.S. He says, I have no doubt that this will happen one day. So I'm not going to push the alarm here this is breaking news. But there's two things on this. Roger Goodell said NFL teams outside of the U.S. He didn't just say there might be. We might put a team in London. There might be a team, NFL teams outside the U.S. And I have no doubt this will happen one day. So he's leaving it really open-ended today. Really open-ended. One day. What's that mean? So I'm going to tell you, we've gone from one international game to, what are we up to? As many as 10 next year. Can you believe that? So I think we got 8 this year, and then they're going to try and take it up to 10 next year. And then I think this is just going to keep, this international thing's just going to keep going. It's going to keep going to almost every week of the year. And I guess as an NFL fan, do you really care? And myself, I'm sitting here going, well, I haven't seen my Broncos in a ton of these, but they've been in, what have my Broncos been in? A couple of these? I know Russell Wilson played in one, and then the Broncos did it again. So I think I've seen a couple. And I'm trying to determine as an NFL Broncos fan, why do I get a little, testy about it? Why do I get testy about it? Why do I care if I have to wake up on a Sunday to watch the Broncos. They start at 7. Why do I care about that? Should I not get that testy about it? So there's a lot of things to get testy about in life. We try and keep it, even keeled on this show. There's a lot more serious stuff in life than this show, I will tell you. So we try and have a little fun, but I get a little testy about it. And so I tend to go down this road and say, do we want the NFL to have teams in another country? Not just like, so this is international. The NBA's not sitting here saying we're going to have an NBA team in London. They're like, well, they have their own pro leagues. Well, so does football. So that's why I'm getting a little testy. We're like going from like this as an international branding thing and marketing thing and money thing to like, yeah, we're actually going to have like teams that like a division in Europe. And I don't know other leagues are doing that. I mean, the NBA's worldwide, but they're not sitting here saying we're going to have teams in Beijing, right? So let's see. Lister text, Chargers to Mexico City and Jaguars to London. Book it. Oh, well, that's interesting. That's interesting. We had a listener text saying the Chargers, not enough support in L.A. Nobody cares about them, right? So move the Chargers to Mexico City and the Jacksonville Jaguars to London. Interesting. So let me ask you this question of the day. That's my read on it. The NFL, I think, is taking it too far when you do go down that road. Roger Goodell, I have no doubt in my mind we'll have teams outside of the U.S. The NBA went worldwide. They didn't need to have teams. Their brand, their players, their marketing, it's all worldwide. They're not putting teams in Serbia. So I think the NFL is trying to take this a little too far, and I just get a little testy about it. I don't want to see a European division. I don't want to see that. When do you think we will see that? So Roger Goodell said we'll see it one day. So my question of the day, let's say, throw out the second question of the Nate Brown Show tonight. When will we see the NFL have teams based outside of the U.S.? Put it on. Put your prediction hat on tonight. I'm going to give you some options. Next decade, 2036. Next 20 years, so we're talking, we're getting down the road there. Getting down the road, or you won't see it in our lifetime. And I say our lifetime because I'm an old man in my 40s. I just had a birthday this past weekend. Give me a break. I'm having a midlife crisis. Anyway, I'm in my 40s. Will I see an NFL teams outside of the U.S. in my lifetime? Will I see it? I do not believe so. Although that listener said they might just move some teams. That's an interesting thought. Interesting thought. I think this is a little easier said than done. Easier said than done there. I do not believe I will see teams outside of the U.S. in my lifetime. Sad thing to think about. Good thing to think about because I don't want the NFL to do it, but also putting my life in perspective. Isn't this interesting? Deep thoughts from Nate Brown on a Tuesday. You didn't think you'd get it? You got it. Lister text coming in. I don't think you'll ever see it. Well, Roger Goodell said you're going to see it one day. No doubt. No doubt. My answer to my own question of the day, I do not think it'll happen in my lifetime. Do you? Next decade, next 20 years, or not in our lifetime? Do you believe Roger Goodell? It's going to happen? You'll see NFL teams outside of the U.S.? I say not in my lifetime. Somebody said here, soccer is king. If the NFL goes there, it will fail. Yeah, interesting you say that. That's kind of what Rob's opinion is. He said it's not enough fan support, passion, all that stuff. They're going to go soccer heavy. There's not going to be like people going NFL heavy if they were to do that. In London, in Germany, wherever you want to say. So, let's see. Lister text, you won't see it in our lifetime. All right. You tell me. Send them in. I'd like to know, what's the vote on X right now? When will we see NFL teams based outside of the U.S. is my question of the day on X. 64%. Wow. 64% say yes in the next decade. I'm not buying that. Next decade? Listener text coming in. I believe it'll happen in the next 10 years. Oh, come on. Guys. What are we going to have? London against Denver Sunday night. Huh? Come on. Give me a break. Mexico City against the Minnesota Vikings, and Kyler Murray goes for Super Bowl number 3. Huh? Anyway. See, I just told you. That will never happen. It'll never happen. Gary Sharp's checking in from Nebraska. High school football numbers have declined in a big way in Nebraska. What's this all mean? Gary Sharp from the Omaha World Herald coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
All kinds of vehicles, all kinds of loans, all as low as 4.99% APR. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we're here to help all kinds of people, just like you. Get moving. From truck drivers to van warriors, we got the right loan to fit your style with rates as low as 4.99% APR. Wherever the road takes you, start with BHFCU. Apply today at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818.
Offer subject to credit approval. BHFCU is member owned and insured by NCUA.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Play at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort this summer and qualify for $25,000 Sizzling Saturdays. Every Saturday, 3 lucky players will be drawn to claim their share of $25,000 in cash and prizes. Play with your Clubhouse card and earn entries automatically. Win great prizes, including up to $5,000 cash and this month's featured prize, a Yamaha BW50 dirt bike valued at $2,500. Don't miss your chance to get in on the excitement at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort in downtown Deadwood. Visit tinlizzy.com for complete details, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly cloudy skies expected tonight with a chance of thunderstorms. Lows dip down to about 59. Winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Daytime highs approaching 87. Tomorrow, mainly clear skies. Tomorrow night, lows around 60. Clear skies Thursday with daytime highs approaching 92. 90 Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 80.
Certified Honda value has never looked better at Denny Menho Rushmore Honda. Take advantage of 1.99% APR financing on select Honda certified pre-owned. Choose from Honda Civics, Accords, HRVs, and CRVs. That's 1.99% APR financing on our Honda certified pre-owned. Shop a huge selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs with over 370 to choose from. Drive with certified confidence at Denny Menho Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Length of finance contract is limited with qualified credit. Expires 8/31/26.
Host your next big event at the Box Elder Event Center, now featuring all new lighting, enhanced sound, and cutting-edge AV. Your destination for conventions, conferences, weddings, tournaments, concerts, and private parties of all kinds. Plus, their gourmet catering isn't just for on-site events, they'll deliver straight to you. Don't miss the Pickle Boo Pickleball Tournament and Fall Hoop Fest. Learn more and book today at thebox.live.
Are you tired of being pointed to a wall of shoes? At Trav's Outfitter, we know better. Buying shoes shouldn't be guesswork. That's why we find the right footwear for the way you move, whether you're walking, working, or just on your feet all day. Athletics, work boots, Western boots, everyday comfort. Because when the fit is right, life is better. Come find us in the old Kmart building. Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. Your sports, your show. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. Thanks for making this show possible, guys. We appreciate you. Hope you're having a good day. Good start to the week. Been a tough start to the week, man. A tough start to the week. The kids aren't even in school yet. We're reeling. But we're back. We're live. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. Question of the day. When will we have an NFL team or teams based outside of the U.S. Roger Goodell said today with a German media outlet that he has no doubt there will be teams outside of the U.S. He didn't say when. I'm asking you when. Next decade? Next 20 years? Or we won't see it in our lifetime? My vote is you won't see it in my lifetime, and I got a long time. I got a long time left to do this show, right? What about Gary Sharp? Omaha.com, Omaha World Herald. He's on X at Gary Sharp _ from Nebraska. Gary, how are you tonight?
Good, Nate. I will say, yes, you're going to be on the air for a long time moving forward. The logistics are like, how are you going to figure this out with travel and all of that kind of stuff, free agency? I mean, there's a lot of things that have to be worked through. I will say in the next 10 years.
No way. Wow. Next 10 years.
Okay, let me ask you that. What in your mind, and this maybe is a poll question, kind of off of your poll question, what's more likely to happen in the next 10 years? The Super Bowl is on a streaming service, or there's a team in Europe.
Super Bowl streaming. Book it, Gary.
Okay.
Book it.
All right. I feel that way, too.
And then me and you can complain. Well, maybe you won't, but I can complain as an old man yelling at the clouds. So we'll see. By the way, I just don't. Why do I get a little testy? Why do I get testy? I was talking to myself here on the show. I do it a lot. I said, why do I get testy thinking about teams based outside of the U.S. and the NFL going way over their skis? The NBA is worldwide, but they don't have teams in London. They're not doing this. So the NFL's just going hot and heavy on this, and I get a little testy about like having the Broncos having to play a London team.
Well, you got to think about the logistics, the time change, the travel. Like you get a bye week after you go over there and play. I mean, they'd have a lot of stuff to work through. And then also free agency. You know, are they going to attract free agents? I mean, there'd be a lot that goes into it. I think they probably have to do 2 teams, don't you think?
Yeah. Now, you'd have to do at least. Now, I think they're going to try and do a division because that's like you gotta try and figure this out. So that's why I say not 10 years, Gary, not 20, not in my lifetime. But Roger Goodell said it will happen, no doubt. Interesting. Okay, let me jump into this. You're in Omaha. Great coverage of the Huskers and everything in between. I saw some your colleagues at the Omaha World Herald talk about this USA Today number. They're going through high school football participation numbers. They say, well, the stats get released these certain years, and so from 2008 to 2024, Nebraska high school football participation has fallen off the ledge, and it's down over 30%. And I saw some of your colleagues are like, well, let's look into this. It's not that bad, but it has fallen off. So what's your real take? High school football players in Nebraska, not as many of them in the last 16 years. What's the deal?
Well, a little bit. And one of the people you're talking about is a colleague of mine at the World Herald. So there has been a shift in this state because of the population of teams that drop 11-man and they go down to 8-man. So in this calculation, that shows up as lost participation. And there have been quite a few 11-man schools that they want to play football, but they cannot, throughout the course of a season, field an 11-man football team, but they can go and play 8-man. And, even 6-man football in Nebraska has become popular. So the numbers are a little bit skewed. The thing, like what I see, because I do high school football on TV on Thursday and Friday nights in this town, the inner city schools, like the OPS schools, their involvement is down. Like their numbers are down, but the suburbs where a lot of people in this area are moving to, Gretna, Bennington, Elkhorn, if people are familiar with the Omaha area, their numbers are through the roof. So there's a little bit of a change there. So it's a little bit, the participation numbers are down, but not as drastic as that USA Today study shows.
Okay, so without getting into like, Nebraska's fallen off the cliff, here's what USA Today showed. South Dakota had a decline last 16 years. Nebraska, Iowa, Montana. So this is getting into rural stuff, and I'm wondering, have enrollments in small towns gone down. Small towns have gotten smaller, and then they can't play football. Is that really a thing? I saw people pointing out, well, people are going to the Omaha, and they're going to Lincoln's, and they're not playing small town football anymore. Is that a thing?
Well, that is a thing in Nebraska. And then there's also, so you have a consolidation where you have more schools, and this is from a Nebraska angle. Those rural schools, they're combining. So you might have 3 schools that you have to have together to play 11-man football. And there's also the part of, people in these states that are, they have an ag background. There are people that are leaving the farms and they're moving into the cities. So, yes, the rural numbers are down. But I will say this, and you know this in South Dakota, that rural areas that have been strong in youth sports and high school sports, their numbers continue to be strong. It's just the communities that are losing population, or that population has gotten older and they don't have kids. You can spin the numbers however you want, but the quality of football, I think, has never been better from top to bottom in the state of Nebraska.
Okay, very interesting. Gary Sharp on tonight, Omaha World Herald. His work there at omaha.com. Find him on X at GarySharp_. Hey, I want your take. You say you cover some of these teams. The Sioux Falls metro area is going to have these games with the Omaha schools. They're going to start them this year, and they're going to play again next year. Brandon Valley won our big school state championship last year, the biggest class. Brandon Valley's playing Bellevue West. Give me a sense for that next weekend. Bellevue West, give me your read.
Great game. Bellevue West has produced quite a few Power 4 guys. They have a very innovative head coach who's into offense. I love that matchup. And actually, Nate, I was talking to somebody about that matchup earlier today. I love this scheduling agreement. We have seen more schools in the Omaha area are playing a team in Vegas, or they're playing a team in Kansas City. I love, because OPS has some struggles finding teams that the connection, common friend of ours, John Krogstan, who's the athletic director for OPS, he's intimately familiar with South Dakota.
Yeah.
And so he got into the scheduling alliance. I think it's great for South Dakota and Nebraska, and I hope it expands beyond the Sioux Falls and Omaha area, and maybe we can do more with schools outside of those areas around both states.
Okay, interesting. So 5 games are going to happen between the Omaha schools and South Dakota Sioux Falls Metro schools. 5 games, Gary. Who wins the series? Who wins more games this year?
I will say, because one of them is Millard North, I will say Nebraska 3-2.
Okay, 3-2. 3-2. That's it. I thought you might go 5-0. I'm about to say, I thought you might go 4-1. All right.
No, I respect. You know what? I'm familiar with the high school football in Sioux Falls, and there's some good programs there. Again, I think this is great for both states because it gets you talking about a team that you don't normally see, or you get to go to a place that you don't normally go. And anybody that's going to go to Bellevue West, that's a great environment there. So I'm all for this, and I hope it expands after the success it'll have this year.
Sioux Falls Lincoln has won 2 out of the last 3 state titles. They're going to be really good. I think they have the best QB in South Dakota. Sioux Falls Lincoln plays Omaha Central. What's Omaha Central's story?
Omaha Central has been good in the past. They lost a defensive back. He transferred to a suburban school, Torrey Pittman, who is headed to Nebraska and is being courted by LSU. They're down a little bit. They'll be breaking in a brand-new quarterback. That would be one that I would go on the Sioux Falls side. Hey, I'm telling people here in Omaha, you know what? You talk about a Friday night, and Omaha Central Stadium, their high school is right in downtown Omaha. It's got a great view. It looks into downtown Omaha. I'm like, you guys get to go like to Howard Wood. I mean, Howard Wood Field, that's a great place to be on a Friday night.
It is. Great facility. Okay, Sioux Falls Lincoln's head coach is joining me live, Gary, coming up after you. So I'm going to ask him about his matchup later in the year against Omaha Central. Gary Sharp's on tonight. Let's talk Huskers really quick. Matt Rule just said on the Big Ten Network, this is our best team. This is our best team. Is that right?
Yep. They've spent the most money. It's their deepest team. Now, do they have enough dudes to move out of the middle pack of the Big Ten? But it is their best roster, and it is their best coaching staff that he's had in 4 years. And this is it. No more mulligans. He's changed his staff. They've invested in key positions. It's go time now.
Okay, so no more mulligans, but here's the thing. I got a listener text saying, ask Gary if Matt Rule doesn't win 8 games if he's in trouble. And that can't be the case. He just got a big deal.
Yeah, you know what? He should, but he won't because of the financial ramifications of his extension last year. But I think he's very cognizant that they have to win this year. Regardless of that difficult schedule, they got to win some football games. Can they get to 8? I've kind of capped them at 7-5.
Oh, that's where I went. Well, you weren't listening to my show last week. I went 7-5, Gary Sharp. I've got the Huskers at 7-5. By the way, what is the reaction if they go 7-5? Let's say they beat Washington or Iowa along the way.
I think that would be good because they haven't beaten a ranked team in 30 straight games, and they haven't played well in November, and one of those games is on the road against a rival in November.
Last one for Gary Sharp. They're not ranked in the top 25 again to start the year. Does Nebraska need to be a program that is ranked in the top 25?
Yes, that needs to be a regular thing with the resources they have here.
All right, Gary, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks, Nate, as always.
Gary Sharp, Omaha.com, part of the Omaha World Herald sports team, live from Omaha here on the Nate Brown Show. Good to have Gary, as always. He says they have to be a top 25 team, but they regularly aren't. And he says it is Nebraska's best team, best roster, most money paid, staff. But I only have them at 7-5. And Gary only has them at 7-5. Oh, boy. Listener text. So we asked that question for you. He said, ask him if they don't win 8 games if Matt Rule's out. But they say, no, he won't be out because they just gave him a massive deal. Can Nebraska deal with just eating that much money? So Matt Rule's guaranteed to not be out. Is that what you're saying? Like, well, if he goes 7-5, he's fine. Like, what if something falls off the rails, he gets 4 wins, 5 wins? Because, I mean, they're guaranteed, like, these easy ones. These are layups at the beginning of the year. So if he falls off the rails and loses some of these, like, you can't lose to Maryland. You can't lose some of these Rutgers. You can't lose those ones, okay? So if he falls off the rails and loses some of those, well, how can they let him go? They just gave him a huge extension because of the Penn State rumblings this past year. So they just gave him a huge extension. Huge. So pretty much Matt Rule's like guaranteed. He's in. Can they get this thing going? I just saw the sellout streaks in danger. Nebraska trying to sell tickets. They seem like they say this every year, Nebraska fans. You guys say, like, oh, it's the sellout streak in danger. And then somebody makes up a deal where it's like, oh, no, all these donors buy the tickets, and so then the sellout streak's good to go. So, like, some of these games early in the year are not very, what do you want to say, popular? Because it's like, who's coming in here? What, Bowling Green? So nobody wants to go to the games. Sellout streak at Nebraska, does it last? People say, well, of course it will, because the donors buy up all the tickets, and so they keep the sellout streak going. But I did see a story yesterday. The Nebraska sellout streak's in danger. I don't know if that's a real thing or not. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show, let's talk to the Sioux Falls Lincoln head coach, Jared Fredenberg. Can the Pats get back on top? They got hit last year in the state title by Brandon Valley. Jared Fredenberg likes his group this year. Number 1 QB in South Dakota. Coach Fredenberg, live next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Get the last roof you'll ever need with steel roofing from Menards. Steel roofing provides your home with the best protection from wind, hail, and fire. Choose from 29 stylish colors to enhance your home's appearance. Available in cut-to-length panels that cover a large area for fast installation. White and bright, white Pro-Rib steel roofing are on sale now through August 23rd. Plus, shop our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Choosing a hotel for an upcoming family trip to the Black Hills? Why just stay when you can make it an unforgettable adventure? When you choose any of the 5 hotels surrounding Waitiki Indoor Water Park, your stay includes free passes for your kids where they'll enjoy hours of fun in South Dakota's largest indoor water park. From the budget-friendly La Quinta by Wyndham to the modern Courtyard by Marriott, there's a perfect option for every family. Unlock your adventure and book your stay now at WaitikiWaterPark.com.
Do you have constant constipation, diarrhea, or heartburn? Those symptoms aren't normal. At Sanford Health Tower Road Clinic, we can help you find lasting relief with personalized care. Our digestive health experts treat a wide range of concerns, including stomach pain, Crohn's disease, and acid reflux. We can also help with important preventive care like regular colonoscopies. Our growing team is available close to home in Rapid City, and we're accepting new patients. Visit sanfordhealth.org for total digestive care.
At Dakota Discount RV, we're in it for the long haul, just like you. Whether it's cross-country adventures, weekends by the lake, or family time under the stars, we're here to keep you rolling for years to come. While others are packing up, we're doubling down with dependable service, great prices, and the biggest selection in the region. Your journey doesn't stop here, and neither do we. Here tomorrow, here for every mile ahead. Visit us in Rapid City or Somerset or online at dakotadiscountrv.com.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely, and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger?
Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
9 a.m. Son's hitting the living room. He's coming now. Go, go, go.
I gotta grab my coffee.
Forget the coffee, Karen. Back hallway. Move, move, move.
Okay.
Dad, switching rooms to stay cool is so silly. Just get renewal by Anderson Windows.
The schedule keeps us cool, hun.
I was at Maddie's yesterday. They don't have a schedule. They just sit in any room all day.
In any room?
Nobody runs. Nobody rotates. They have renewal by Anderson Windows.
Windows are not a system, sweetheart.
Our windows leak. We pay for air we don't ever use.
She's right, Stan. We don't live here. We just circulate.
The Acclaim replacement windows really energy efficient. Cool air stays in and warm air stays in.
Every room?
Every room, every season, like Maddie's.
What? No diagrams?
No diagrams, Dad.
Oh, rotate!
Oh, for the love of Pete, just call renewal by Anderson.
Oh, go, go, go!
No, no, no!
Don't pay for air you don't use. Make the best decision for your home with exclusive custom-fit Acclaim windows and ensemble doors. Only from Renewal by Anderson. Learn more at RBARapidCity.com.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live across the state. Fox Sports Rapid City and KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Glad you're here. Great show lineup tonight. Brandon Stokely was on talking Broncos, former two-time Super Bowl champ. Great wide receiver in the NFL for a long time. Stokely gave us his read on the AFC West and the Broncos tonight. Brian Rosen joined us, Creighton head volleyball coach. Creighton is a part of the State Farm Women's Volleyball Showcase, a big deal at the Pentagon next weekend. Top-ranked teams in the country coming to the Pentagon, and Creighton's set to take on number 9 Purdue next Friday. Brian Rosen joined us tonight. Gary Sharp moments ago from the Omaha World Herald, and now to the high school football side. Our interviews continue with the season previews. We've had a lot of big coaches on so far. Let's go to a big program that's won a lot. They've won a lot lately. They made it to another state championship last year. Just got beat by Brandon Valley. They were the two best teams in South Dakota. Talking Sioux Falls Lincoln. Your head coach is Jared Fredenberg, and he's back on the Nate Brown Show tonight, getting set for another season. Coach, how are you?
I'm great. Yeah, doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Appreciate the time, and I want to look at this. I'm taking a look at your program. You guys have built this thing, and now you got another season on tap with a lot of expectations. So you tell me what the expectations are going in every year. How have you taken it to this place?
Yeah, well, every year our expectations, even when we were 2-7, I said our expectations are to play indoors our last game, and if you can do that, if you can make it to the Dakota Dome, anything can happen. It's kind of a weird game. The ball bounces weird, so you just got to give yourself a chance. So that's our expectations every year.
Okay, so you said that even when you were there, 2-7, how have you turned that corner with the school, with the program? How have you turned it into, now it's legit. I'm not saying it wasn't back then, Coach, but now you've won state titles. You made it again last year. How have you turned it to realistic?
Wow. This is year 10, and leaning on, some mentor coaches that I've had in the past that have really kind of poured into me, and their advice, just sticking to what I truly believe in, and really surrounding myself with some great assistant coaches for sure. And just sticking to it and believing.
Do you have to get kids fired up for football at Lincoln? Because winning does that. So how do you keep it now consistent?
Yeah, well, our numbers are up. So, with the recent success, we're getting more and more kids out. And so more kids want to be a part of it. So I think complacency is a big thing on my mind. And so we talk a lot about, this recent success. It doesn't always happen. You have to work for this success. And I think J.J. Watt said it pretty well a couple of years ago, that success is leased and your payments due every day. And so we try to instill that in the kids, success is kind of fleeting sometimes if you don't work at it every day, and we hold true to that. They had a great summer, and we're just ready to go. We're ready to play somebody else besides ourselves.
I like it. Jared Fredenberg on tonight, Sioux Falls Lincoln head football coach, trying to get back to the state title game and give themselves a shot. A bunch of seniors. I'm looking at it, man. You're stacked up, and not just seniors contributing, but some nice players. But one guy that stands out is Brody Schaefer. Everybody talks about him. He's been thrown around, best quarterback in South Dakota. Tell me about what Brody Schaefer does to give you the best chance here, because it can't just be his play. What type of leader is he as a QB? And tell me about the player coming back for his final year.
Yeah, Brody's the complete player. He's right at 6 foot. He can make every throw on the field that you want him to make. One thing that kind of separates him a little bit, he's super accurate with the ball. Every day he makes a throw that we just look at, the coaches look at each other and just kind of shake our heads and go, man, I'm glad he's on our team. And we got to go against him from the defensive side every day. And so he's just a steady player. He's the hardest worker on our team. He's right at that core, and people kind of gravitate to him. And they see how hard he works, and so that makes a lot of other people work harder. They don't want to let him down, and they realize that they have a special player there. And frankly, he's just one of the dudes. He's just one of the guys. He talks to everybody. He encourages. He gets on. Some players when they need it, and he's just an ultimate competitor and a great leader, great kid. 4.0 type kid. So, yeah, really glad to have him.
Can you do some different things with him now, even more? Has his game grown even more for this final year? Do you expect even more from him?
Yeah, we want to kind of limit him a little bit. I guess last year I was really concerned with how much we ran him. He took a lot of shots last year, and he always bounces up. And so he's the complete deal. When things break down, he can run, extend the plays, and still he's so accurate on the run, throwing the ball. And, he runs a 4.6 40, so he's pretty darn fast, too, for for, we got to have the ball in his hands every play.
Yeah.
And so he's the guy. He's the straw that stirs the drink for sure.
He makes plays, no doubt. It's hard to probably say, okay, we just want you to do this. It seems like he just makes plays with his legs, with his arm. Jared Fredenberg on tonight, Sioux Falls Lincoln head football coach. You guys lost in the title game. Is this just something that people say it gives you a chance to, we're hungry now, we're hungry, or is that a real thing?
I guess I remind them of the score every now and again. But, I guess, every class that graduates and you have younger kids that come up and take their place. And, as they're freshmen, they really look up to those upperclassmen. And things that I've talked about, it's now your turn, It's your turn to put your stamp on this program, and the past is done. There's nothing we can do about it. Now it's your turn to rise and shine and to do this program proud.
What did I see you guys were doing boot camp the other day? What's that all about?
Yeah. So I was in the military myself, and so you just develop a little bit of, connections there. And so, this is something that we started way back, and like that first day, the National Guard, South Dakota National Guard, comes out and they put on a little boot camp workout for us, and it's really centered on team building, and they do all these different things together, and it's awesome. I love it.
All right, I like that. Could you still do it?
No, you got to be kidding me. No.
Okay. I want to make sure where we're at. I want to see if you're jumping in there. By the way, you got O'Gorman, so let's talk about that right away. This isn't a gimme here. People are saying O'Gorman's pretty good here. What do you see for next week?
Well, their skill positions are as good as anybody's, and so they have a quarterback returning. They got weapons on the outside. I know the Sharon kid is really fast, and they're really well coached too. So the Poppinger brothers on offense and defense, I mean, they're going to put them in the right spots, and they're going to give them the best chance to win. And so it's always a battle with those guys. And really, I've said this all the time. I mean, playing in the Metro, there's no gimmies, and every week you got to come out and play, and anybody can beat anybody else on any given Friday. So you just got to come out and play, and O'Gorman's no different.
Big school class football almost here. It'll be next Friday, and Sioux Falls Lincoln's opening up against Sioux Falls O'Gorman. So this will be good. Jared Fredenberg on tonight, Sioux Falls Lincoln head coach. Last one, just fast forward a little bit. I've talked to everybody about this Omaha series. So you guys are going to face Omaha Central September 25th. Omaha Central coming in, and I just want to ask you your perspective of getting to play an Omaha Metro school and what that feels like.
Yeah, it's exciting. I guess the coaches up here, we feel that we play a pretty good brand of football, and getting to play a larger city like Omaha, it's just super exciting and kind of a measuring stick game. How do we compare with some of these other metro areas around in the Midwest? And we'll see. We'll see. I'm glad that we play them week 5. I think it is. I think Brandon Valley's got to play theirs like right out of the chute.
Right.
So
right.
I'm glad we could get a little bit of film and kind of prepare a little bit. So we watched a little bit of their stuff from last year, and so they're a spread team, and they look like they have some pretty good athletes. So it's just going to be fun. The kids are excited about it. I get a lot of my parents and different football fans from around Sioux Falls talking about it, and it creates a little excitement for sure. I'm glad we're doing it.
Yeah, I look forward to this, the Omaha series. Jared Fredenberg on tonight talking Sioux Falls Lincoln. The Patriots trying to get back on top with the crew trying to make another run to the title game. Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck to you. We'll talk again.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Jared Fredenberg, Sioux Falls Lincoln head football coach. The Pats have been one of the teams to beat, no doubt. Finished second at the Dome last year as Brandon Valley got on top. Pat's going to be the team, one of the teams to beat. Who's hot and who's not is next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Serious DIYers know when it comes to brake jobs, quality matters. Now through August 31st, buy a set of Perfect Stop brake pads at your local Auto Value parts store and receive a free can of brake cleaner. Perfect Stop brake pads are engineered to restore optimal braking performance while delivering quiet, dependable stopping power. Stop by your local Auto Value parts store today, where we've got the parts, we've got the smarts, and your free can of brake cleaner too.
The following radio ad is Good Fun Squad approved.
My name is Jenny, and I'm the lady at the South Dakota Lottery who writes out those big checks for our winners. It's a lot of fun, but we've had so many big winners lately, my hand is tired. There was a $600,000 winner, a $2 million winner, a $4 million winner. That's a lot of zeros, and not normal zeros, big check zeros, and the winning never stops. That's why I'm learning to write with both hands.
Good fun.
Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
In the studio today, I have Weston and Denise Chapman, owners of Black Hills Tire. What kind of diesel services does Black Hills Tire specialize in?
Black Hills Tire is really going to focus on a lot of new diesel services. We're doing factory maintenance and service. We're doing fuel system diagnostics and repair. We're going to do engine repair, even all the way into engine overhauls and engine removals and installation, whether it's driveline components and repair, transmission service, transmission and clutch replacements, brakes. We're doing everything. Check us out at blackhillstire.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly cloudy skies expected tonight with a chance of thunderstorms. Lows dip down to about 59. Winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Daytime highs approaching 87. Tomorrow, mainly clear skies. Tomorrow night, lows around 60. Clear skies Thursday with daytime highs approaching 92. 90 Friday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 79.
We're overstocked on pre-owned trucks at Spearfish GMC Cadillac, and that means great deals for you. Choose from light-duty or heavy-duty trucks, gas or diesel, with options in every price range. Need more room for the family? We've got a great selection of pre-owned SUVs too. And you can buy with confidence. Our pre-owned inventory is locally sourced, not from auction, and most are certified. So hurry in for the best selection and the best deals. Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Shop online at spearfishmotors.com.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Stock up for those late summer get-togethers at your Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. This month's specials include $3 off the 1.75-liter bottle of Jack Daniels, now $45.99. Or save $6 off a handle of Crown Royal, now just $48.99. Plus, check out Mr. Liquor's exclusive selection of etched bottles featuring popular landmarks like Mount Rushmore, Devil's Tower, the V-21 Raider, and more. Available at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City, off Catron next to Walmart, or on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
All right, welcome back in the Nate Brown Show Live. Who's hot and who's not every night at this time. Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. Great Fun Zone Arcade. Bring the family to the best buffet in town. Pizza Ranch. Who's hot and who's not? Let's look at the who's not numbers. I just got to keep reminding you of this. Caitlin Clark and the Fever continue to set records. The Fever Atlanta Dream game over the weekend drew 2.6 million viewers on ESPN. 2.6 million for that game. Most watched WNBA game ever on cable. Peaked at 4 million for the Indiana Fever and Atlanta Dream. That was Caitlin Clark against Angel Reese the other day. So huge numbers. And Caitlin Clark, another Eastern Conference Player of the Year award today. Or I should say Player of the Week. Here's this. Who's not category goes to Coach Prime. Coach Prime. The numbers just came out. Front Office Sports released this. ESPN's viewership for game showing Colorado has fallen 67% since 2023. Oh boy, They've fallen off the ledge, kind of like the winds for Deion. Come on. The Prime effect is wearing off fast. ESPN's viewership fallen 67% with Coach Prime and the Buffaloes since 2023. He's trying to bounce back this year. Thanks for listening to The Nate Brown Show. The podcast going up. See you tomorrow.
This just in. Due to extreme heat and humidity, your oven